Spokanes. Not much is known about their warrior society or their warfare, because they never had a written record of their society, and oral traditions were forgotten when settlers came and changed the Spokane people. But two things tell us about the kind of warriors they were: the types of weapon they used, and the accounts from their enemies. Due to those two factors, historians have put together an estimated path going into, during, and coming out of a war. Before a war, the Spokane warriors would immediately begin training for the upcoming challenges. The people would store up food and erect ramparts around the tribe in an attempt to aid the local garrison, which would be made up of the women of the tribe. One day was taken in complete silence from music or talk to honor those men who had died and the men that were going to be dead. Then the leaders of the clan would rally their units of men consisting from 16 to 6 of the tribe's men and plan out the warpath. Unlike other styles at the time, the Rocky Mountain tribes did not base their wars on territory but on the body count. The objective was to hunt down an enemy unit and destroy them. This was far more effective with the amount of able fighting that the Native Americans had, and replaced the pitched battles with large armies that dominated the rest of the world. This style of war, by counting the dead and not the acres, would be adopted by the modern world during the Vietnam War, when American troops simply could not hold up with the amount of forest land that the Viet Cong and northern Vietnamese soldiers planned to hide in. The primary weapon was the bow and arrow. Not to be surprised, for it was the main weapon of choice for all Native Americans. Since childhood, the warriors would train with the bow and arrow, and when time came for battle, they were experts. But when the fighting got desperate, the Spokanes would use clubs. Spokane warriors also had to train to hunt and survive on the go, because battles were fought out on the frontiers between the tribes, and not much civilization was put between them. The types of people that the Spokane fought were tribes just like their own, which never ended up being good because it dominoed to a sort of phalanx versus phalanx effect, which never ended well for either sides. They also had the plain tribes to the south to worry about. They would snip at the borders, and these tribesmen had horses, which surprisingly the Spokane did not use for war, but for messengers to other tribes and among the high elite for transportation. The Spokane managed to do fine without the horse, and proved that the rocky forested landscape that they called home was no home for the horse as well. The Spokane way of war would different from all other wars and would be sewed into the cloak of war forever and ever.